back and happy holidays. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve if you are just now catching this. I am here with my amazing colleague for today joining me as we catch up on what's been going on. There's so much that has been going on throughout the week. I don't know where to begin. So today's show is probably going to be an extended show. But before we get into all of the shenanigans, how have you been?
I have been doing great. Um, actually tapping into on like my personal stuff. I've been taking care of all my personal stuff, but then as like career wise, I've been taking care of all of that. And it's been a great 2025. Like I can't ask for anything else. I'm gonna keep it real. Like I've kind of already got like early gifts, for Christmas. I guess that would, I would look at it as. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to continuing to expand, continue to working with you know my fellow creatives, locally and abroad, and using tools like social media to continue to do the work as well. So
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome as you're just coming in. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified as you come in. Catching up here with my colleague now's the time. Now he's in New York, I'm in South Carolina, and as you all know, Zoran won the race, but you still have New York is notorious for their rats, and there are two rats that are still on the prowl, and that is Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams. They are still out there. And we know that they are Trump aligned because Donald Trump came out and endorsed fully Andrew Cuomo. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But the big headliner that everyone is talking about, since we're talking about New York, Onika Tanya Maraj. Yes. And Erica Kirk and JD Vance. Um, Before I get into that, my God, where do I begin? You look too good, Ice Queen Realness. Thank you, girl. Thank you, my babies. Thank you, my fashion dolls. Chef
appreciate
Sky. Hey, girl. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. I had to come back
you.
with a bang. Like, I took a little break for a little bit, and then I came back after that last show. What was it? This week. And then we'll be back next week, wrapping up this year with QL Howard. Um, Hopefully, I'll be out of IG jail by then. But we're going to be getting into everything that's been going on throughout these past few weeks. My girl Hope Giselle just did a video so beautifully, and I'm gonna start off with the video that my girl Hope Giselle did um, on Miss Onika Tanya Mirage.
She's definitely not misunderstood. She's understood perfectly. She sat on that turning point stage, which is a petting zoo for white grievances, and did exactly what the stuff they wanted her to do. She endorsed Trump. She took shots at the LGBT community and leaned into the dog whistle about boys being boys, knowing goddamn well that that has only existed to excuse sexual violence. And she did it while carrying the water for the same men in her life who have been accused and convicted of rape and sexual assault. The same people that she spent years trying to erase like the victims were. But not irony. That is alignment. And she's done a great job at doing it the last couple of days. So stop acting shocked when these women telling us who they were for the longest time start doing exactly what the that they said that they were going to do, which is what the Bible said, in case y'all forgot that one. What changed is that she finally said it on stage, who were built by the same people that want her, the queer people that love her, and all the immigrants that she claims to care about, gone. And then the audacity to do shit in front of a white supremacist ass who went on tour instead of mourning her husband. Baby, that is not bravery. That is buck dancing for approval. That is the black women auditioning for whiteness while throwing other black women under the bus and smiling while you do it. Let's be even more honest, Nikki. You built your brand on the culture of queer people, ballroom aesthetics, gender play, femme access. All of that came from us. You made it profitable, and now you're using that same platform to side with people who want those very same folks legislated out of existence, and you're biting the hand that feeds you. But, Barb's, let me go and talk to y'all real quick, because all the gay ones, yeah, I'm sick of you. You don't get to scream protect black women and then cape for a woman who protects rapists. You don't get to claim that queer love and all of these things get to exist, but then excuse her transmissing it because the beat slaps. You don't get to call this growth or free fall, or she can mind the business that pays her, because this is politics, and politics are people's lives, and she has enough influence to change them. At this point, defending her is not fandom, it's consent to all of the violence that she's causing. And you've shown that you don't mind it because you like the music. She'll call it individuality while cosplaying oppression. She no longer cares who who she stands with as long as she gets what she wants. So this is not to cancel her. This is consequence culture. It's the sound of people finally saying that they've been biting their tongues for years and now we're sick of it. Nikki didn't fall off. She sold out. And anybody still riding for her needs to ask themselves why celebrity loyalty feels more important than collective survival. Because until me, you heard them pink wigs and them tour and whatever the she's releasing in these next couple of months, I hope it flops like she wants Carney to do. Because I'll be.
And I'll stop there. So beautiful. And yes, Kimani, she was speaking. I had a phone conversation with Now's the Time a few minutes ago. And Chef Scott said, I'm late. Can you reintroduce that handsome brother with the locks? This is my colleague, Now's the Time, who I've known for approximately over 10 years, 10 and a half years, a very long time. We both have started on the Live Me app. Live Me is like Bigo, and he's one of the top broadcasters on this. So you guys follow him. Make sure you guys are following him. But since I'm the trans woman in the room, let me give my perspective. Let me go first. What Nikki did on that stage at Turning Point USA was a complete dog whistle. When she said, let the boys be boys, that's an excuse for toxic masculinity, to excuse men for their bad behavior. That was a direct dog whistle. I'm gonna get to JD Vance and his eyeliner in a few minutes. But I want to stick on Onika for a second, because when you said let boys be boys, just be a boy, there are some people who were born in the wrong body, Nikki. Did you ever seem to think about that? Did you ever seem to think about half of your base is the LGBTQIA plus community? They're styling your wigs. They're styling you. Let's not get started, which is why I wore today's look. Kimani said Ice Queen. Lil Kim was actually the inspiration for today's look. And it was the Hyper magazine cover. I wore this intentionally. You bite off of the style of Lil Kim, the original Queen Bee. Let's keep it a buck, since y'all want to talk about who's the queen of rap. And to the barbs that got in my comments yesterday, because y'all were rattled at my post on Remy Ma, I'm going to play that in a second as well, too. That audio. Remy told you, she warned you, Lil Kim warned you, called her a big bully. That is a key indication right there. And when she got up on Twitter, remember Now's the Time was here the last time? What did he say when we talked about hashtag it was Black Girl Magic, celebrating the accomplishments of African American women across the diaspora, when we know that we are the top tier of education in this country on earth? There is no arguments around that. Black women are the most educated in this country, period. So for you to get up here and say, well, Black women, this, no, don't bring Black women into this. And I got a video from Reese Colbert, who I absolutely love. And I'm going to play that audio footage for you as well, too. So y'all make sure y'all go and follow my girl, Hope Giselle. But Reese Colbert, yes, I'm going to let y'all play that. I'm going to play that audio, and then I'm going to let y'all hear it. Because what Nikki did was a direct dog whistle to the entire LGBTQIA plus community that supports you, that has been sticking with you and supporting you through all of your shenanigans. And I still, to this day, I'm seeing some of them come out and denounce her and say, I can't support this, because you are supporting a regime that is, let's be clear, because this is not an administration, this is a regime, and they are operating and governing just like this is the 1930s Germany. So let me go on ahead and play what Reese Colbert had to say about Miss Minaj.
Minaj is a stupid, goofy ass, ignorant ass, clown ass bitch. And I don't really give a fuck about anything that she has to say. Nobody should be paying attention to her. However, since people are paying attention to her dumb ass, now I got a motherfucking address and shit. Now, I really don't care about a lot of shit that she said. It's a typical Republican script. It's the same script. But what did piss me off is how she sat up there with Eric Kirk on her dead husband tour and brought in Black women. Why the fuck are we in it? For her to sit up there and say, well, if Black women didn't feel good about themselves, then why would they turn around and try to make a white woman feel bad for herself because she looks good? Bitch, what? The idea that Black women are somehow bullying white women when Black women be over here minding our motherfucking business is stupid. The biggest bullies of white women are not Black women. It's actually white women and white men. White men are the ones passing these motherfucking laws to make them baby incubators that's allowing child marriage to come through, all that ancestry shit that got going down in some of these states, child labor. Y'all the ones that they taking away DI, which white women benefited from the most.
And one more thing.
So
Let me
why
pause
would
here. Affirmative action too, because y'all benefit from that as well too. And whereas y'all want to call black women welfare queens, who's the original welfare queen? We'll wait. Y'all are the ones that are seeking all of the benefits. Whereas black people, we have been told what for years, and me and Now's the Time have always told y'all. What have they told us? To pick ourselves up by the damn bootstraps. But go on, Reese.
about that shit, bitch. But no, you trying to sit up here and make us out to be bullies. But let me ask you a motherfucking question. Name the law that white women need in order to wear their hair the way that their hair naturally looks. It doesn't fucking exist. On the other hand, black women and black men, we need the Crown Act. We need the Crown Act so that we can wear our hair the way that it naturally looks when we go on a job interview or when people go to school, so that they don't have to cut their locks in the middle of a fucking wrestling match in order to continue playing. That's why we need the motherfucking Crown Act. So if anybody is being restricted from looking and feeling good the way that we naturally do, it will be black people. Woman, bitch.
Well said. Absolutely. And as Chef Sky came in the comments, you notice my colleague's locks and you notice that the hair is layered down over here. Black people, we have been discriminated against for our hair. And as she stated, they've been told they have to cut their locks off in the middle of a wrestling match. I've literally seen a video of a young woman having to cut her braids in order to graduate. Yeah. So white women don't have to worry about that. Y'all have already had the privilege and be able to be privy to be able to move around and get the access to things that black people, we can't get. So again, I ask you, who's the real welfare queens? And you had this Republican congressman get up here and say that when black women, we are using what is it, food stamps or EBT, when they was trying to steal that rip food out of the mouths of 42 million Americans. When Donald Trump shut the government down and wasn't, you went to the Supreme Court, you ran to the Supreme Court, and what did they do? Just like what they're fixing to do with birthright citizenship, Nikki. Oh, Nika, did you ever think about that? Because your ass is an immigrant. You are a woman of color. You are a black woman. And they are using you as a walking minstrel show. The same way they used Kodak Black, the same way they use Azalea Banks, and Lord knows, like she said, the girls are fighting. Azalea can't stand your ass and you can't stand her either because Azalea held your ass to the fire and she's not afraid of you.
Right.
And let me tell you something. What she got Jamaican Trinidadian descent. They just started going after Haitian Americans. What's going to be next? There was a black man already detained in Texas. They haven't closed down Alligator Auschwitz. I'm not calling it Alligator Alcatraz. It's Alligator Auschwitz. The same way in Auschwitz, Germany, where they captured German, where they captured Jewish people, my bad, where they captured Jewish Americans. Speaking of Texas, do y'all know what they're trying to do in Texas right now since we're on the conversation of trans? I'm the center, the focal piece of this conversation because y'all were so focused and fixated on us and our genitalia. They want you to start taking pictures of trans people who come into the women's restroom, and they want you to start reporting it the same way in Germany. Back, if you saw someone who was considered or deemed an enemy of the state, listen to the vocabulary and the language that they're using. When he says the enemy within, poisoning the blood, they are using fascist rhetoric. This is a fascistic regime. That's what this is. So when they say the enemy within, oh, the enemy within or the enemy of the state, I want you to go and tell on them. They got an email address. They're creating a list of transgender people in Texas so that they can go after them. This is not for who's to be on Santa's naughty or nice list and give them Christmas gifts, no pun intended, because Christmas Eve is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. This is to go after and target trans people in Texas. Because you got Governor Greg Abbott And what's the other one? Ken Paxton, as well to the Attorney General. They're both compiling a list of trans people. I said this once, and I said this when I was live with Bubs the God. Trans people should be the least of your concerns, if anything, because this year is just about out. We got a few more weeks left in this year right here. And before you know it, 2026 is here. Do you know what is going to happen? Mike Johnson closing down the house because of the Epstein files. Oh, baby, I'm gonna get to that later because the bombs are out. The bombshells are out now, honey.
Thanks.
You can't run from this. As much as you try to strike out and redact, yeah, we've seen it. Bill Clinton is now calling for the full release, unredacted. And we'll get into Bill Clinton's statement in a few. But I want to talk about Miss Mirage, Miss Onika Tanya Mirage, and her transphobia. You had Eminem on your whole album titled Queen, and where it should be an album uplifting women and the queer community, you had Eminem and allowed him to say the F word. Your husband was heard on live saying the F word. Don't get me started on your husband because, baby, he can't go near an open house, a PTA meeting, or Chuck E. Cheese. Let's not get started. Y'all sat up here for the longest and y'all enabled her. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm afraid because the same thing that happened to Kimberly Foster, where y'all put her personal info out there. I didn't want it to get happen to me. So that's why you've never heard me critique her on my platform. I've critiqued her here and there in the past. But to the barbs that got in my comments, let this be a warning. Hear me and hear me good. And if you share and repost the shit, I'ma block the everlasting dog shit out you. And that's my Merry Christmas gift to you. Merry Christmas is the gift that keeps on giving, and that's the block button. As now's the time when I was in on live me.
Hot button strong. Yeah.
Y'all got in my comments under Remy Ma. Let me get to what Remy Ma said that she did to her, because I believe it. I believe it. Nikki does the same thing that Tamar Braxton does, and that is be passive aggressive. She deems herself as a victim, and then she's never been about women empowerment. Remy Ma is neither, so I'm gonna be critical on both sides. But what Remy says she did to her will baffle you. It will gag you. So let me go ahead and play that right now. This thing is at what, 1,300 views. Y'all ran these views up on this video. Off of this, I was sitting in the car yesterday, right after coming from the eye doctor, y'all. And I said, well, let me go on ahead and dig in the file cabinet, like Remy said in the interview with Wendy. And I pulled that footage out. So let me play what Remy Ma.
Tell us ahead of and no one says anything. What is it that she does? Well, it wasn't necessarily, the little subliminal stuff on records because I didn't care. I don't care about records. And, I'd spoken to her before, like, whatever you say, you're supposed to say the best and then better than me, whatever. It was the behind the scenes things that people would never know about, as far as trying to keep me for red carpets and trying to make sure awards don't go to me or she's not going to be in attendance or trying to get people to make bad reports about my album sales or just anything that I'm doing to make me look less and make her look better. And I have a problem when you're trying to stop my bag, when you're trying to stop me from taking care of my children.
Go back to the Breakfast Club interview with Lil Kim and what she said about her.
Mm-hmm.
The signs were clearly there. And as Hope Giselle said, you bite off of the culture. Some of you female performers bite off of the culture of queer people. We are the culture. Let's be real. Paris is Burning is a cult classic film. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What's the tea? Come on, Sissy Pop. All of these are queer lingos. And you use this, and then you use queer people as if we are your pocketbooks. And you were friends with T.S. Madison. And I know Maddie is hurting on the inside, but Maddie, I'm going to tap you on your shoulder too, sis. I love you and Craig. And what y'all are doing on y'all's platform, I watch it religiously. And she would be one of my dream interviews. I love me some T.S. Madison. But sis, for this, you should have called her out. Because she did the same shit that Kaya did to you years ago when y'all had the Queen's Court going on. You sat there as Kaya regurgitated transphobia, ableism, transmisia, and homophobia. And then when it came back to a you in the end result, You didn't think it was going to affect you. So
Right.
the same for Nikki. Call her out. I don't care if there is a proximity to fame. Me and Now's the Time are able to get in these spaces and meet artists. He's connected with Bass God. Me, you guys know me for interviewing who I've sat with so many here on this platform, and they've become good friends of mine. But I would want them guests that I've had to come on my show to hold me accountable. And that means you, Kimani, Chef Sky. If I said something or did something that was out of pocket, now's the time as well too. Would tap me and be like, "Hey, that's a little bit too much." Even K Tooks will wheel me back in. K Tooks will wheel me back in like, sis, don't do nothing, don't say nothing that will get you in trouble. But for this, now is the time to start calling out the fascism. We just had a Latino pop artist literally say that now it's not the time to be political. Let me go back and pull that up. And everybody agreed rightfully, agree with what I was saying.
What is the role?
What is his name? Romeo, Dominican artist by the name of Romeo Santos says he wants to wants to not put music into politics when he was one of the ones saying F Donald Trump.
Mm. Yeah, but that's also a person that probably isn't making money in making progressive music. You feel me? He's not making money out of making revolutionary type of music. So I feel like people, I don't expect just because people make music or make art or whatever that they're going to be revolutionary with it. With it, I'm gonna keep it real, and it's really easier to play to um I guess like the ignorant aspect of pushing music. You know, like there's people that are going to push music from a good place. You know, and then there's gonna be artists that really are only pushing music for profit. They're literally capitalists. You feel me? And I feel like that's what people have to understand about like the difference between like a revolutionary artist, an artist that is going to imprint their life experience and struggle to their art. You know, some people are willing to sell, you know, the creation and the art, you know, and kind of keep the culture aspects and the actual who you are in your integrity. It don't gotta be hand in hand. That's what people have to realize. Like it's literally that's what's going on. You know, some people are shocked to see that people are not have integrity, you know, with their art. It's just not. Especially if we talking about Nikki, she definitely came from a situation to where she had to go to Atlanta to become popular. Because even if we're gonna keep it honest, she was never popular within the ballroom community post being famous. If we're gonna be honest,
And we're not trying to, and let's be very, very clear here. As Kamala said, let's be very, very clear. And by the way, I'm a 92 percenter in case you're wondering where I stand politically. I voted for Kamala and stumped for her, and I'm going to continue to keep sister as well too, because she wouldn't have did half of what this orange buffoon is doing in the White House. Shout outs to Bubs the God. I just referenced you, Bubs, about our panel that we sat on, and I was saying about of trans people. But it's a quote from Nina Simone that goes like this: the job of the art is to reflect the times. And when we think of what's going on right now, Marvin Gaye, what's going on? Nina Simone said it best: Mississippi, goddamn, because everything that they're doing, when they say states' rights, that means Jim Crow. You have Jim Clyburn, who voted along with Republicans on legislation as well. We should not be voting along with Republicans on anything. Let them take the rope, and you know what they will do with it. As we can see, when you push
yeah,
back and you resist and you use your platform and your voice and your activism, it makes an impact for the masses. And as a Dominican artist, because Romeo Santos was born where now's the time is at right now, where I have family, and that's in New York. He was born in New York. And we're seeing mass ice raids take place in New York. And just now we got some breaking news as well, too. DLJ says that purported, couldn't get it out, Epstein letters. The Justice Department is saying that the Letter from Epstein to Nasir is fake, conducting an investigation. And keep in mind that they also scrubbed the DOJ site of some of the Epstein photos as well too. Yes, they did that. We'll get into that later. But the other breaking news that we're going to get into, I reposted it. Make sure you guys also follow. Now's the time on Instagram and follow me on Instagram. Half of you are style by Stevie underscore daytime so that I can keep you guys updated on anything political, beauty, fashion. Of course, you're going to get that. But right now, my focus has been what's going on in the world, the current climate. The Supreme Court blocked Trump's deployment of Texas National Guards to Chicago. Now, why are you sending National Guards to Chicago? There's no crime. Nobody's breaking any rules except for this regime, except for that fat orange motherfucker that is in the White House right now. I just can't wait for that news to wake up one morning and I'm gonna put money on it. I'm gonna call. Now's the time. Y'all bet money on it. I'm gonna call him and then I'm gonna call K Tooks and then I'm gonna call Bubs. Bubs, you better pick up. And I'm gonna be screaming and shouting and jumping and praise dancing. I guarantee you I will wake up to that. And when we all wake up to that news, because he is one cheeseburger away, just the right artery. It's all we need. I am sick and tired because there is no crime going on in Chicago. Why are you sending troops there? Because you have people and people of color in power, like
Mm-hmm.
Governor Westmore in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jasmine Crockett, who, when she announced that she was jumping in the race, had all of y'all Republican white men shook.
Yes.
Y'all got out here and y'all threw a tizzy. And JD Vance, stick to fucking sofas and your eyeliner. You and Erica Kirk, by the way, can share eyeliner because I'll be damned if you if and I'm not even MAGA, but I can tell you right now, baby, that the MAGA will not vote for you because you got a brown wife. You're married to a woman of color, Usha Vance. So if
Mm-hmm.
you get with Erica Kirk, do y'all see where I'm going with here? If you get with Erica Kirk, the widow of the racist podcaster, then you could probably become president.
Hey,
But stick to fucking sofas, JD, before you decide to come for another black woman. But see,
I'm
that's
gonna
the
keep it
same.
real.
I'm not surprised because what
They
JD
like
Vance
they
did,
like self-hating blacks. So it's just like that's what I'm saying. People got to remember, like, just because you are melanated, don't doesn't mean that you have to identify as black. I'm gonna keep it real.
mhm,
So it's like people we have to realize that. And I think that's the other part of understanding how people politically stand and how people identify. You feel me? Like not like majority of people, they don't look at themselves as a black person, that is subscribing to the Republican Party, especially the specific Republican Party as in MAGA. You feel me? Like this is something that's been, a cult really in its inception, since he's even a talking point on the TV. Like he was running a cult then. So
it is the same with Jim Jones, the same with Charles Manson, the,
yeah,
the same where if you keep
cult,
saying things to your base, they will
cult.
believe that shit.
Yeah, it's
There
a
are
cult.
some of them that still do not believe that he lost the 2020 election and he instilled loyalists. Pam Bondi and Cash Patel do not believe that he lost the 2020 election, y'all. They were hired there to do exactly what they're doing currently right now. And Pam Bondi's ass needs to be impeached and fired. You have one Democrat, and I cannot remember his name, but he said, oh no, he's not going to be for impeaching Pam Bondi. You need to do something because that's what your constituents. We need to do away. This is why they got rid of David Hogg and Malcolm Kenyatta. They didn't want them at the DMC because they were too way left for them. No, because they're a younger generation. You
Right.
need something younger. You cannot be a part of the establishment. And we know some of y'all are taking APAC money. Y'all came out here and y'all got on Jasmine Crockett's case. But why are y'all
I'm gonna
not
keep it
getting
real.
on
If they a Democrat, they taking APAC money. I'm just gonna keep it real. And this is why I didn't get
Jasmine
in.
Crockett's not, and ALC
I
made it very clear. Yeah, they not.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like even the Democrats of Rochester, New York.
Cory Booker,
Even though we are a city of refuge and stuff like that, it's still motherfuckers that work for ICE that live here. You feel me? There's still people that, you feel me? So it's
And
like,
that's another thing. I'm gonna get to that because I seen some of our people working with ICE. But see, you know what ICE is? ICE is modern day slave catchers. And you're working with your people who want to keep your people oppressed. Why? For 50K bonuses? All money ain't good money. I'm gonna just say that. All money ain't good money. And as tempting
facts.
as it seems to go work with somebody, I couldn't find it in my body to go and terrorize people who look like me, to go out here and break apart people who look like me. And if you've signed up to do this, you are a piece of shit for that. And I hope you have your karma and your sad day in hell. Because Lord knows God ain't sleep. He sees everything since y'all like to weaponize Christianity. Onika, you got on stage. Ain't nothing Christ like about what this regime is doing. But I can tell you what kind of Christ-like state you want. You want it in a state where do y'all have y'all heard about Project 2026 and what it will do? You know what they're going after next? For my ladies out there that for women that voted for Donald Trump, do you know what they're going to go after? And I've had a hysterectomy. No, that don't mean shit.
Right.
That don't mean shit. They don't give a fuck. They're coming for your rights, your fundamental rights. They want to make this ban national. And I can't say the word. I even have to be careful what I say here on YouTube because they are clipping motherfuckers left and right.
Yeah.
But do you know what Project 2026 would do? They want to criminalize women who seek life-saving care. And I told y'all the story about a black woman by the name of Amari Marsh. She's 22 years old and was facing a life sentence down here in the state of South Carolina for receiving life-saving care. And y'all will continue to go and vote against your own goddamn interests. This is not about, oh, making America great again. No, it's about making America white again. And I had a conversation with Now's the Time early on the phone. And I said that this is about black people being the majority and they are the minority. They are losing theirs. So they're pissed off and they got to preserve that whiteness. So they are hell bent. There was no way in hell that they were going to vote for a black woman. In a discussion, there was no way in hell that they were going to vote for a black. They couldn't even vote for a white woman of their own, Hillary Clinton. But see, you would rather America burn to the ground than to rather have a woman who was qualified, who was willing to help you. She didn't care about your political affiliation. She didn't care about that. But the first thing y'all saw was melanin and woman. And that was Kamala Harris's crime. No, she didn't lock up tons of black men. She got the bad ones off the street. So let's debunk that as well, too. What about that Trump check? What about it? The motherfucker didn't release the money until his name was on the back of the check his first term. And y'all are talking about dividends. What about these dividends? I see y'all taking pictures of Walmart prescription receipts. What did he tell Walmart this year, y'all? Bubs, what did I tell you on the panel that he told Walmart? He told Walmart to bite the tariffs. Because these tariffs is going to impact you. They may not be impacting you now, a little bit. You may see an increase on electricity if you're in the Atlanta area. If you watched my interview with my girl, Faith is the Substance, she asked me, she said, Miss Stevie, would you run for president? I said, all right, I'll just go along with it. I think it's time for each and every one of us to get out here and consider running. To be the change that we want to see. Would I run? No. And I'm right along with Michelle Obama. Hell no, I wouldn't run for president. Michelle don't even look her way. Don't even look my way to ask me for leadership or options. No. Because I'm black, I'm trans, and I'm a woman. And y'all wouldn't vote for that. And y'all have already weaponized trans people as the enemy within. They've considered us as nihilistic, violent terrorists. That's what they want to label us as.
Mm.
And now in Texas, they're trying to eradicate us. If you're in Texas, they're trying to eradicate you fully. They don't want your existence. And then when you see trans people disappearing, we don't know what happened.
Right. No one reports it.
It's no
Yeah.
coincidence. It's
Mm-hmm.
no coincidence. And speaking of eradicating, do you know what they're doing now? They're seeking to deneutralize 100 to 200 citizens a month. Yeah,
Mm, that's crazy.
they don't care if you were here, born legally or not in the United States, if you were born here,
Right.
or if you just got your citizenship and you're a United States citizen, they don't care. Now, according to an internal guidance obtained by the New York Times, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has directed to send the Justice Department 100 to 200 denuclearization cases every month for the year of 2026. That includes you too,
Yeah.
white people. Y'all thought it was just us that y'all was voting against. That includes you too. Send your ass right back to Europe. That's where you about to be. Since y'all love to tell us to go back to Africa, because I see y'all getting in with my other colleague, Coffrey J's comments. And I see y'all getting in now's comments. I see
Hmm.
y'all came up under Bubs' comments as well, too,
Yes, they always.
behind these
As I said,
accounts.
yeah, I feel like the most racist apps are Instagram and Facebook. If we're gonna keep it real, like those is what those two platforms,
I'm in jail, y'all.
and
They
this one right
sentenced me
here, this
for a
one right
year.
here, YouTube, YouTube, this one too. So it's just like the three most racist apps in America. You feel me? So it's just like we could throw X in there too. So it's just like stop
Oh,
playing with us. Like
Elon Musk. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I got some
so
news on his ass. Do y'all know what he's trying to do? Because midterms is coming up. He's already gearing up and getting his pocket put together because he is planning to buy another election for Republicans. There you have it. Don't say I didn't warn you.
and
So
what
that
and
fallout with him and
they trying to get the person that bought YouTube, I mean TikTok America to they trying to get
oh
them to
yeah,
sell it
TikTok is
or
that
ban it
too.
or they
I
gonna
was
ban it
just
again.
about to say it. Yep. TikTok is now officially about to be Trump owned. So if I were you, I would go ahead and delete the app right now. That's why when I got my, because I'm still in IG jail, my ass still can't go live. They said, no, bitch, shut the fuck up. Get your ass off of here because of what you said about Megan Kelly. And I still stand on what I said about Megan Kelly because she's still racist. Uh, I'm still in jail for a year. I don't get out until November 14th, 2026. So I'm counting down the days. But TikTok, yes, is about to be Trump owned. It's true, and now's the time us for reading my mind because that was actually what I was gonna get into next. Yeah. So if you got TikTok, you might want to delete it. That's why I didn't install the app or anything. And I know some of you do TikTok and use TikTok. I said, I'm good. I remember Deshaun asked, why don't you go on TikTok? I said, no, that shit about to be Trump owned too. We can't have nothing. Oh, and which reminds me, this motherfucker done went and put his name on the Kennedy Center, y'all. A prestigious center that has honored so many of the who's who in the business. Medals were received there. Awards were received there. And now he went and placed his name in the front of it. I hope the Kennedy family comes after
Right.
your ass. You got a bunch of lawsuits and they ain't going to go away, just like the Epstein files are not going to go away. We are going to make sure that your ass is held accountable. And that includes you too, Pam Bondi. I will never stop dragging you with your bags under your eyes. When you look at my face, you see black and beautiful. When you look at her, it's just like any other typical white woman, thin lips and bags under their eyes. This is what well rested looks like. So while black people are well rested in protecting our melanin and protecting our peace, y'all are busy bringing us into conversations that don't have shit to do with us and blaming us for it. Oh, let's not forget Brown University. What happened in Brown University? That was intentional.
Definitely.
Because see, you have Candace Owens and what was it? Bubs did a video on it. Blexit, Turning Point USA.
Hmm.
We're seeing the rift with Candace Owens and Erica Kirk. It's no coincidence. Y'all are showing up to historically black colleges and universities. There is no debate on white supremacy. It's either you side with us, you pick your side now, or we don't fuck with you at all. And if you're a Barb, I'm letting you know, I don't fuck with you. And I went back and checked my followers on Instagram, 7,498. I had 7,500 on Instagram. So some of y'all must have been rattled by my Remy Ma post. Remy Ma told the truth. And there are other female artists out here saying the same thing about Onika as well too. Black Girl Tragic, Shea Butter Twitter. Nikki has always been out of touch with her blackness. And it's been someone called it out. I just can't remember who it is. And shout outs to Diva. Diva said it as well too. I do believe that she is a colorist. I do believe it
She
because of
just
the beauty standards in this business.
it's I'm gonna keep it real. It's this is the thing about like folks that are coming from a point of degrading their community for I guess individual placement closer to what they see is like the right thing to do. So in Nikki's eyes, she's doing what's best for Americans. She's doing what's best for her career, and she's doing what's best for her son. You know, so this is what people have to understand. Like in her eyes, this is her motherhood. This is motherhood, Nicki Minaj. You feel me? This is not 22-year-old Nicki Minaj. You feel me? This is not the grind. I want to, this is not that person. This is a whole different person. And people have to understand that there is this situation with political people and celebrities to where what got them into their position is not what keeps them in their positions. So this, to try to compare like a gun violence prevention, you feel me, summit to a America First summit, you feel me, is crazy. But that's what the Barbs will do. The Barbs will say, oh, Beyonce is bad because she had dinner,
I'm gonna be
gun
critical of
violence
her too, because y'all know I'm a part of
prevention.
the Beehive.
You feel
Y'all
me?
know I am a part of the Beehive, and now's the time we'll get on my ass and say, "Well, Miss Stevie, you can't be hypocritical." Yes, I'm gonna be critical of Queen Bee too. Y'all know I love me some Beyonce. She is the blueprint for me clearly, and y'all have compared me to her as far as being the Beyonce of talk shows, being hosting the platform, and I appreciate that. But nobody can hold a stick to Queen Bee or Oprah. Period. Oprah, both of them, save both powerful women. The thing that upset me the most was seeing that picture of Beyonce and Jay-Z seated with their backs, I think, in a position where they were seated. You had Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump sitting there as well, too. I was very disappointed in that because I'm like, you were stumping for Kamala, and it was sort of like a slap in our faces. Do y'all know what Jared Kushner's father has done? If you know about what's going on in Gaza and Palestine and yeah, elsewhere,
Mhm.
I'm not going to get into all of that, but his father got sworn in by Cory Booker. Shouldn't have been sworn in the first place, but that was Donald Trump's wishes. Now, Miss Onika Tanya Mirage, y'all wanted to know why I gave that smile. I got a theory, and I'm gonna go along with what Politics by Tabitha. Shout outs to her. Make sure y'all subscribe to her. Nikki is jumping on the Trump wagon for three reasons. One or three reasons: citizenship and a pardon for her husband, or either a pardon for her brother, because her brother's also a you know what as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's one of three reasons. So I mean, the way she got on stage and she said he's dashing and he's handsome. No, he's full of cholesterol and shit. And he wears orange makeup and diapers. And he's told so many lies his first term. There's nothing dashing or handsome about a fascist. Now, my co host and my colleague over here is handsome. Bubs the God is handsome. But Donald Trump, there's nothing handsome about him. And what does she call JD Vance? I can't say that either, but it starts with an A. He's notorious for as I said, fucking sofas.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book about hillbillyology.
Mm.
Forgot where it came from and everything. It's always the ones who get a little bit of money and power that forget where they came from. And this is why I'm not in a rush. A lot of people say, well, Miss Stevie, you should have this many views. You should be up on a bigger scale. This is exactly why. I don't want to be a part of that Hollywood shit. I'm going to always be a down to earth girl, country bumpkin, and a high fashion diva for y'all. But I will always be that South Carolina girl, born and raised down here in South Carolina. Peanut butter and jelly, fried bologna. Yes, baby. Collard greens and cornbread. I will always be a South Carolina girl. As much notoriety that I've get, you've never seen me change. And this man sitting over here to my right, we're in opposite directions if you're on the phone. Now's the time can vouch for that. Bubs can vouch for that. The only thing that's changed is my fashions and hair colors. But my personality and where I stand, you guys know where I stand. And how convenient for Nikki to jump on the truck chain. And Erica Kirk, that was a brilliant question she asked. Why now are you deciding to get into politics? It's something she wants. And it's one of those
Yes.
three things
Oh,
that I said. Either citizenship, a pardon for her husband, or a pardon for her brother. Because we know that.
mm,
There's a reason why.
yes.
And you could be right up there with Kanye West, Azalea Banks, Kodak Black, Anthony Mackie. Yes, Anthony Mackie, Mike Tyson. They are Trump supporters too. There are black Trump supporters out here. Who's
Hmm.
another? The actor Isaiah Washington. Yeah, y'all remember him? He's a Trumper as well too.
Hmm. It's a
Who
lot of
else
them.
is a black Trumper? It's so many.
I say it's a lot of them. I don't, Booker T, the
Jim
wrestler.
Brown.
Booker T, the wrestler. he, he a Trumper too. It's a lot,
Oh,
and that's
Amber
what I said.
Rose. Let's not forget about Amber Rose. Oh no,
Oh,
Amber, you're
Amber
not off the
Rose,
hook. And I'm so glad that Jocelyn
the
laid into your
the
ass on
slut.
College Hill.
Cause yeah, I feel like because especially the fact that of like the slut culture, she's like I don't. It's just like she was the queen of the slut culture, and like it's just so I don't know. It's just who's paying you, depending on who's paying you, you saying whatever. You feel me? That's really what it is, and I think that's the part of why like politically, no one really is politically educated just because they're a celebrity. I need people to understand that being a celebrity does not automatically make you politically educated. You know, so it's just like that's the
And
other.
that's the problem. People don't read enough. And
Yeah,
you have the likes of Joel Santana and Joe Budden them encouraging our people not to read. That's why it's imperative to pick up a book and read. And
yeah,
you know who me and Now Time love. We love this woman with all our heart. She's no longer here. May God rest her soul. And she was a
Shakur.
literary genius. And that is the late Asanta Shakur.
Yes, yes,
And
that's
I'm
my.
gonna go down more literary contrarians and figures. James Baldwin was another.
Mm,
Everything that James Baldwin and Audre Lorde and Bell Hooks and the late Maya Angelou, the quote that I always been quoting. And Cat Williams said it brilliantly. This is the last year, but he said the 2025 was going to be the year of what? Exposure. And
yes,
people are showing you who they truly are. And I'm glad to know now because I can easily cut you off. I don't need to deal with you if you are MAGA or if you are a Bard. More power
been
to you
been cut them
because
off. I'm
y'all
gonna
don't
keep it
see it
real.
for us trans girls anyway.
It's so awkward though that they're so they are fans of us. You know, like they're fans of Miss Stevie. That's why I'm gonna keep it real. Like for them to like react in your comments, they're fans. They follow you. You feel me? Like they're fans of you. So it's just like that's what makes it weird because it's like these people are really obsessed with this woman so much that they're willing to attack people that they do look up to, people that are closer to them. Like we're closer to them in reality, you know. But it's like they'll defend this woman so bad that it's like they
Celebrity
don't.
culture, being
Yeah, they
able to
don't
be
have their own
closeness, that
identity.
proximity.
You feel
And
me? Their
and that's what you were
identity is
saying
being a
earlier.
barb. Their identity is not being a having an individual identity. So that's why I said it's easy to cluster them together. It's easy to get them riled up. It's easy to get them upset. It really is, and it's because they're not educated within self. They don't have self worth. You feel
The
me? And
same
then
with MAGA. They don't read. And he's what did he say now time? He said he doesn't love. He loves the poorly educated. And
educated.
wasn't
Yes, he
Charlie
loves
Kirk
pro.
saying Onika shit sure did? Sure did. Shout outs to my brother K Tukes, host of the K Tuke Spot. Let me see what Bub said. I don't know. Bubs is in here working on
Appreciate
an
that,
essay.
Bubs.
He said,
Appreciate
as
y'all.
always, unfortunately, the queer community is the sacrificial lamb. Her alliance with MAGA is going to be at the expense of a big part of her support. Yep. Then one of them tweeted that out there. We've got the people, we're going to get enough votes. So they already radicalized it. At Turning Point USA, it was nothing but young white men and women. And when these young white men and women grow up, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to start bashing the queer community. They are going to start being racist the same way the racist podcaster is. I'm not calling his name. I'm not going to give him any clout and attention over here. We are sick of hearing it. And if y'all need to go check out what our girl Jasmine Gardner said about it as well too, about Mr. Racist podcaster. And I'll give him that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying his name.
You talk about
We're not giving him any more clout. Now
the
his wife
trash
is out
bag
here
dude,
going from
the
yes.
Hennessy drinker,
He was talking what?
The Hennessy drinker. You talk about the sexual assaulter, not the one that be groping women, not the groper.
Oh no, I'm gonna get the Keg's breath in a minute. I'm gonna get the
Oh,
Keg's breath in a minute, and we can go
okay.
down the whole list of this regime.
Hennessy bottle.
Yes, Miss Champagne Pete, but Mr. Racist podcaster said that black women don't have the brain processing power. So Nikki, you are willing to downgrade yourself and sit on a stage and be a mouthpiece for white supremacy. And you're a black woman and an immigrant as well too. But see, just like when Marjorie Taylor Greene had her close call to reality when she started getting those threats, Nikki, you'll have your day as well too. Because what do they do with the ones that are black in the cabinet? They use us up to get their votes,
Yes.
and then they will discard of us. Where's Ben Carson? Why y'all haven't heard no more about Ben Carson?
Did he pass away?
Hmm? I think Ben Carson is still alive, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I thought he died of
But
COVID.
why haven't y'all heard any more about this guy that's the Secretary of HUD? He's still there in that position. But overall, the whole cabinet, have y'all seen the makeup of his cabinet? It's all white
Oh yeah,
and
he replaced.
unqualified.
Oh yeah, he replaced everybody. He got what's it called?
CDC, all the
He
qualified people
he
gone,
got he got
every branch.
he put what's it called wife in a position. Vince McMahon's wife. She got a job at the White House. I'm like,
Mhm.
what the
Department of
heck?
Education, Linda
Yeah, she
McMahon,
like yes. I'm like, what does she know about like what? Like they don't even own WWE no more. So it's just like, what is like this is crazy. So it's just like give a job to your friend. That's what he did. Like he literally got empowered and literally gave his friends jobs. You know, because even the thing with Vince McMahon and their family, like sexual assault. You know, they have that same thing with sexual assault. You feel me? Like sexually abusing people and then getting off. Yeah, it's like you feel me? Like and trying to pay people off because Vince McMahon hasn't even been really successful in being able to pay everyone off. So it's just like, why you keep aligning yourself with people that sexually abuse. Like he had the one football player, the ex football player that also had like rape charges. So it's like, bruh, and he was had him on like the fitness team, his fitness team. He was a part of his fitness team. There's an ex NFL player. I forget exactly
and you
what
got
NFL
Matt
player.
Gates as well too, who got
So
popped for talking to underage girls.
so it's like, what
So
are y'all doing? Y'all are weird. Oh yeah, that's the dude that got arrested. He got arrested while he was at work, right? That's the dude that they
Matt
arrested.
Gates,
Yeah, Matt Gates. Yeah, they came and got him at work. Like that's
and
weird.
now he's in the Pentagon with guess who, y'all? Y'all won't believe this. They took all of the qualified journalists and reporters out of there and replaced them with Matt Gates and guess who? Laura Loomer.
Wow. The blonde. That's the blonde,
Those
right?
are the yeah, and decided to take a shots at Jasmine Crockett. And they black women tore your ass up and they're saying this is what black and beautiful is look like. No filters, no fillers over here. And I think now's the time out to call me slipping on live me without makeup on I think Bubs has almost caught me slipping, but whenever I do Bubs, it's no, I don't really show him on camera. But still, black and beautiful, with makeup, without makeup. But here's my thing right here. They want it to be based off of merit. They
Yes.
want it to be based off of merit. And Chef Sky, you said, how do I feel about his poll? Oh, yeah, they're starting to resign in mass. No, don't leave. Y'all helped usher in fascism. Mhm.
Right.
Y'all voted against extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies. And do you know what that is going to do in next year? Your premiums are going to skyrocket, as now's the time mentioned earlier in the show. Yep. So you better make sure you got coverage right now. That would be my best suggestion to everybody watching me right now. Make sure you covered for next month. Because a lot of people, you might not be feeling the effects now, but come January, they'll start saying, well, oh, well, you may see a few changes here or there. No, no, no. We know exactly what the fuck y'all did. Y'all cut health care. And a lot of people are going to lose their health care next year. So whereas you have Mike Johnson closing down the House because December 19th was the deadline for them to release the Epstein files, and they give us this blank ass document,
Mm-hmm.
given all of these redacted documents concealing, we know that his name is in there. We know he's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all can try to cover up and protect Donald Trump, but Bill Clinton said, oh, no, 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 no. Let us see it all. Let us see it all. And that's not the half of what Republicans have done.
Not at all.
We could have stopped this 13 months ago. Like literally. All of this could have been avoided. But but let's talk about it. Let's see what else Donald Trump is doing. In Colorado, do y'all know what happened? Donald Trump rejected Colorado's bid for federal disaster relief. They cut FEMA, y'all. So that means for fires, for flooding, all of that. Let's see what else he did. All of this was going on. And I sent a bunch of stuff to the chat. I used to pay $30. Now I have to pay $75 just for doctor's visits. That's a damn shame. I'm so sorry, Chef Scott. See, that's
Right.
a prime example. If you guys follow Danielle Moody here, what she said about her premiums, they skyrocket as well too. She's having to pay more. Okay. Miss Erica Kirk, yeah, the DOJ just basically said, fuck you. And they didn't even hide it. Okay. What the Department of Justice did with the Epstein files was a deliberate, in your face act of contempt and a full throated fuck you to the public, delivered in thick black bars and missing pages without even the courtesy of sublet. They didn't even release the truth. They blacked it out. Page after page, names were erased, paragraphs were swallowed whole. So that's on the Epstein files. I'm jumping around because it's so much to make your head spin like, whoa, that's how fascism operates. And I did that for a reason because I want y'all to see that as well. Fascism, and even Steve Bannon, who said, oh, well, he's getting a third term. No, that motherfucker is not getting a third term. If God and Mother Nature be a witness, and y'all already know what I'm waiting on. I already told you earlier in the show what I'm going to do when that moment happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call, now's the time, and then I'm going to call Bubs. I know Bubs is still in here, and then I'm going to call K-Tooks. And I'm going to celebrate and shout when that moment happens. America will rejoice. SNL did a whole parody of the Epstein files being released. Y'all need to go and check that out. Hilarious. Um, Not only this, but we have Donovan Metiyer, who was 26 years old, who survived the 2018 Parkland school shooting, passed away. And again, they have cut resources for mental health. They've done all of these things to harm us.
Right.
So, Nikki, what's so dashing? And what did she say about Donald Trump? She said he was dashing and charming. There's nothing dashing and charming about what he's doing. And since y'all want to work under the guise of what is Christian and what is not Christian, there's nothing Christian about this. Y'all are not Christians. Y'all are goddamn Pharisees.
Mhm.
Because the Bible says, feed your neighbor, be kind to your neighbor. It doesn't say take food out of children's mouths, school lunch programs,
Special
children
education
starving in Gaza,
programs. You feel me?
people dying in Gaza. There's nothing
Mhm.
Christ-like. What he's doing with these boats, and I can't say that word either. Yes,
Mhm.
him and Hegseth are war criminals. Yes, they are.
Mhm.
What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
What else is going on? Yes, redactions are in. Now let's get to Bill Clinton. You got people dropping out of the race and stuff because they know that it's not going to be well for them. It's
Mhm.
not. What's going to happen with these tariffs? Donald Trump's tariffs make gifts 26% more expensive. So are we great yet, y'all? As Chef Scott
Mhm.
said in the comments, she used to pay $30 for a doctor's visit. Now she pays $75. The tariffs we are responsible for. It doesn't go to Canada, it doesn't go to China. It goes to us, the consumers.
Right.
I might have to teach a course, and I want y'all to probably sign up for it on how imports and exports and tariffs work. And how do I know so much about it? Because I took government economics in high school.
Mhm. Yep. I took
Statistics
that.
as well too. So that's how I know all of these things. Again, Black women, we are the most educated in this country. I have friends who work in this field to add up, deduct how taxes and tariffs work. We got Texas out here trying to go after same-sex marriage again. That's what's going on.
Mhm.
What else is going on? Bill Clinton. Oh yeah, the videos that y'all are posting. Uh-huh. The Epstein files. We'll get into that as well too. But I want to get into what Bill Clinton said. Let me get into what Bill Clinton said about these Epstein files. He said, if you're going to release it all. Release it all.
Mhm.
Don't just cover some because I know he's not, you know. But here's the thing right here that gets me. We know he's in there. Why are y'all trying to cover and protect him?
Right.
And you do know that your constituents are not going to vote to ever put you back in that position. So I hope it's worth it for protecting someone like you. Oh, and you got Ice Barbie. Since we're talking about ICE raids, ICE Barbie Christy Nome basically admitted that ICE is detaining people without criminal charges. In other words, without due process. You have babies who are like 8 and 9 years old having to represent themselves. You're
Yep.
supposed to have an attorney present.
Thanks.
This and back to Onika, because all of this stems back to around Onika and what she's doing. I'm gonna play some audio for y'all from one of my favorite revolutionaries, and that's Malcolm X.
Comedian, comic, trumpet player, baseball player. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear. I would like.
Bingo. Did
Thanks.
now Tom just say that? She is a puppet now. She is a mouthpiece. And as Bub said earlier in the comments, the sacrificial lamb are the LGBTQIA plus community. Y'all put us in shit that don't even have nothing to do with us. Y'all blaming us for your life being miserable. Because we are living, we are breathing, we are thriving, we are existing, we are the culture, and you can't erase us. We are like a pimple that just will not go away. Queer people are going to be here. You're not going to erase our existence. Point blank, period. And
Part of
you
the
have
human
benefited off of it, as
experience.
Hope Giselle said. As Hope Giselle said, you have benefited off of the culture of queer people. The majority of your base is queer. And watch some of her same supporters come out and start defending her, supporting Erica Kirk and Donald Trump. Watch some of her same supporters start following suit. Because, see, when you can indoctrinate a lot more people, the same way Hitler did in Germany, where the Germans had to look at the Jews and the Jews were the enemy. They're doing that to us right now. It's a target on my back as I'm doing this show live for y'all right now because I am a Black trans woman in the red state of South Carolina. My colleague over here already has a target on his back too, as a Black man who is liberated. So we both have targets. We're all the enemy. And if you don't believe that they aren't compiling a list of us, data, because they've already started doing that, Peter T.O. Palantir and Elon Musk created what? Doge under the guise of what? Waste, fraud, and abuse. No, Elon. The waste, fraud, and abuse was this motherfucker spending $52 million to go cheat in golf. That's the waste, fraud, and abuse. Obama ain't never golfed that much. But him, he's out there golfing at Mar-a-Lago.
JV taking the jet around and shit. JV taking the jet
Cash
like it's
Patel, Christy
yeah,
Nome too,
yeah.
jet planes. And oh yeah,
Like
he
where
flew
y'all?
on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. That's the more tea for you. Yes, his ass was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet. Mm-hmm.
Yo, it's weird. I feel like it's very the miss handling of funds. Like as much as they try to say the Democratic Party has mishandled funds, they have not proven us nothing better. You feel me? They have not shown us nothing else. It's just like more. It's more. It's what it's telling me is if they can do it, we can do it too. Basically, but it's just like we can do it how we want to, like they did. Like if even if this Republican Democratic thing is real, like, and the Republicans are somehow like helping America, you feel me? I don't understand where the help is. I don't understand how it's happening when you're mismanaging like our defense, like, you know what I mean? Like education, like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and especially when you don't have experience in making any of these decisions, but you've been able to come up with a team that will say, "Yep, yep, yep" to everything that you say, and it's really getting very, I guess, more scary because like the cause and effects of things, like it's the things that he caused, but then there's an effect of it, so it's just like we are still just living through the cause. We haven't got to the effect aspect of it.
And it's going to impact us by next year.
Yeah.
Sean, I don't know how to send the live so that I can add three more, another person on. So here's what's going on. Turns out, so Donald Trump has already created some kind of a bill or something where patriotism, oh, fuck his patriotism. Ain't nothing patriotic about that fat orange piece of lard. There's nothing patriotic about what he's doing. Because if it was patriotic, women would have their rights. Because if it was patriotic, you wouldn't be trying to turn back the clock to overturn birthright citizenship and to overthrow same sex marriage as well. There's nothing patriotic about what he's doing. You can shove your patriotism. And we know your punk ass is watching. TikTok is going to be his. So if you got a TikTok, I already told you what to do. Delete it, delete that shit out your phone,
Yeah,
find you another app.
we've already been going through, like, even like myself, like, we've been having issues with TikTok and like their whole policy situation. So I've kind of been, you know, using it just to promote. Like I got it on there just to promote the show tonight and stuff like that. Like I'd still like use it a little bit, but I get a lot of flags. And it's either because of the type of conversations I'm having, the way what I'm talking about. Mostly me promoting another platform, but you feel me? I think that,
Um, there's gonna be a statue of the racist podcaster. Oh, is it gonna be one of him getting popped in his neck?
it's gonna be the
And
water
not only
fountain.
that, Donald Trump is going to have a panel. Oh, he knows not to cross. Speaking of other dictators, he knows not to cross Vladimir Putin. He knows exactly not to cross Vladimir Putin. He knows better than that. And what's the other one? Maduro? What did Putin tell him? Putin said, "You have no jurisdiction over here and what's going on in Russia over here. You don't have nothing to do with what's going on over here. Stay out of it."
Mm.
I played that audio for y'all. Yeah. And I just revealed the biggest bombshell yet. Elon Musk has reemerged. How convenient. He's back to buy 2026 midterms. Remember how I told y'all how he used his thumb and put his thumb on the scales of power and bought this presidential
Mhm.
race? You have oligarchs and Nazis in the White House. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. JD Vance and Erica Kirk were mighty hugged up. We don't think I didn't see that. She rubbed
Right.
her fingers through his hair, the same fingers that she had her rings on. She's a grifter, just like the racist podcaster as well, too. Oh, we know. We know. I know, Deshaun. Yeah. Oh, they're not going to vote for JD Vance because he's got the brown white. Usha Vance is a woman of color. And if he thinks that MAGA's going to vote for him, dating a woman of color, to hell out of here with that.
Hey, you never know. As long as she, as long as she's down with the cause.
They do not.
I've seen some weird situations. As I said, I feel like people don't really understand the power of denouncing like blackness, like for real. Like there is people are doing it because there is something they're getting something out of it. People are like disclaiming like don't want to be black because of the lack of political power realistically, and I see why people are going you know Republican. I see why, because for them it's easier to argue those points. It's easier to argue down against black communities, poverty and things like that. It's easy to do that because that's what America has done. That's America has really made it easy to criminalize um, poor, like to be poor, to be black, to be trans, to be to be non-Christian. They've been attacking Muslim people in Texas and Florida. You feel me? So it's just like this isn't shocking though. This seems to me like the same America that it's always been. A white Christian majority nation that is only here because of colonization and force. So it's just like we
Imperialism as well.
imperialism. Yeah. So it's just like
Capitalism, imperialism.
yeah. So it's like we haven't really constructed this country ever. So it's just like the fact that people think that we shouldn't be speaking and we shouldn't have a voice and all that type of stuff. We've never constructed America. Like we've never actually been able to have. We've done the work. We've done the physical work, but we've never had to have been able to have a voice. Even when we've fought for our rights to vote. You feel me? Even in getting rights to do things. We've
Now they're
never
trying to
have.
go after the Voting Rights Act. I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought that up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Supreme Court will be happy to overturn the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. That should have been passed, but they are going to do it. The same way they overturned Roe and they granted this man immunity. What's to
Yeah.
say that same sex marriage is not on the chopping block? What's to say that the Voting Rights Act is not on the chopping block? And I just found the story about Bill Clinton, but I'm going to get to now's the time point. Listen to the buzzwords. I might have to do a course or something on fascism because it's so deep and I'm passionate about it because I'm seeing what's going on and how it's impacting each and every one of us, my close friends and family and all. When you hear them say states' rights, you know what that means? That means Jim Crow. That's
Yeah.
where they're trying to
Post,
take us back to,
yeah. Post
where
Jim Crow.
Black people, we had to take literacy tests. We had to do what? Poll tax.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas white people, oh, they could go right on in and vote. Now, let me get to Bill Clinton right here, the Epstein files. Oh, yeah, Bill Clinton demanded that the Trump regime release every photo or mention of him in the Epstein files. Now, this statement comes from his spokesman, Angel. The Epstein Files Transparency Act imposes a clear legal duty on the U.S. Department of Justice to produce the full and complete record the public demands and deserves. However, what the Department of Justice has released so far and the manner in which did so makes one thing clear: someone or something is being protected. And we know what that someone and that something is. And it is that orange criminal piece of shit in the White House, Donald J. Trump. And you got the House Speaker, Matt Johnson, closing down the House. We're going to close down the House and we're going to go into recess. And then we'll be back a couple weeks. Same way this government shutdown last. People were laid off. And speaking of people being laid off, 300,000 African American women lost their jobs as a result of this shutdown. Exactly. Yeah. If they can overturn Roe, Deshaun, they're going to go after voting rights.
Yeah.
And you have
They
Republicans keep trying to push it through.
Yeah, they've been
That's
going
why we have to
after civil rights, the civil
everything.
rights, our civil rights as well. So it's just like they literally have been going after civil rights. Just recently, that's what they were trying to do is like take some of the stuff of our civil rights away. So it's just like this is something that I didn't think was going to get this deep this fast, but yeah, because like not like him not having it be free for us to enter state parks on Juneteenth and MLK
Took
Day.
away MLK, Juneteenth.
Yeah,
Guess
so
what?
it's
We
no
not
more. They
celebrating the
saying
push.
no more free state no more free state access. So for people that didn't know this, like on because of MLK Day and Juneteenth, we were able to go to the state parks for free. Like they couldn't charge us to go to them. You feel me? He's reversing that. So it's just like this is something that's minimal. It's a minimal thing, but at the same time, it's a big thing because you're saying that like you're acknowledging that you gave access as native people because we're indigenous to have access to state parks. That's similar to what the Native Americans have with uh, with uh, with with having some type of taxation situation with how they live. You feel me? Like that's our closest thing to it. Like you feel me? So it's just like it's really not enough if we're gonna be honest, because it's only two holidays, that you're saying that we don't have to pay to get into a state park. You feel me? So it's just like it's the fact of they playing with us in so many different ways because realistically we don't have our own like park. We don't have like our own land, so to say
Because
that
they stole the land.
you feel me?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that as well, too. They stole the land. It's
Right.
no coincidence that these white South Africans are coming over here under the guise of being refugees. No, no. It should be black South Africans coming here. Y'all have literally stole land from our
Mhm.
people, our ancestors.
Mhm.
Trail
Still
of
doing it to
Tears,
this day.
the Middle Passage, Manifest Destiny. Do y'all know what that shit is? And don't get me started on slavery. The oppression that our people and people of color have experienced for 400 years. And they are turning back the clock. And yes, gerrymandering is helping them, Diva. They gerrymandered the fuck out of some of these maps. Redistrict and gerrymander. You have to fight fire with fire. It is not the time to be nice with them. And I love how these people keep talking about protecting Christians. Yeah, they're protecting Christians, all right. They're protecting PDFs. That's what they're protecting. They're protecting Donald Trump. That's what they're protecting. They're protecting MAGA Mike Johnson, who married his own daughter. Remember, Reese said they did some sick shit.
Yeah.
They're protecting Keg. They're protecting Matt Gaetz, who is now one of the press journalists in the Pentagon with Lord Loomer. That's who they are protecting. They're protecting whiteness. So you want to wrap it up under the guise of, oh, it's the Christian traditional values.
Mhm.
White Christian nationalism has plagued America. And y'all are willing to go out here and make other people's lives miserable, mainly queer people and black people, make our lives miserable because y'all's asses are the ones that are suffering something within. It's not a us problem, it's a you problem. And all of this is coming from out of these kids that, yeah, they done took away the mental. I mean, well, the 988 text number is still there if you need to talk to somebody. And I have a message for you guys at the end of the show, which I will share because we are coming to the closing hour in a few. But so much that has happened. So, yes, the ex-gay movement, let me touch on what Deshaun said. Because you're going to see a lot of these gay men. I don't identify as a gay man. I'm a whole trans black woman. So I can't speak to that aspect, Deshaun. Bubs can touch on because you both are men. But you're going to see a lot more people in our community say they no longer want to be gay. They are like Andrew Caldwell. They've been delivered. They found the light. They found God and what God has done for them. I'm going to tell you what God told me to tell you to do. God told me to tell you to live your truth, to walk in your life, and to fuck what other people say about you. That means that if your Christian beliefs start to infringe upon my life, my freedom as a black trans woman, and my existence, that's not a me problem. It's a you problem. You go out here and you use these Bible scriptures and you beat people with the Bible because they're not living a life to your life. And one thing I want to hang up going into the new year of 2026, I want to hang up the word lifestyle. Let me tell you what a lifestyle is. Miss Stevie loves to get her hair, nails, and makeup done. I love to go shopping. That's a lifestyle. I like luxury. The same for Paris Hilton, the same for Beyonce. These women love luxury. That's a lifestyle. The only difference is I can't fly on a private jet or have a black car chauffeur me around.
Mhm.
That's the only difference. That's a lifestyle. God is definitely love, not hate. You love your neighbor. Yeah, in the churches, we've seen some of y'all homophobes and transphobes get up here in front of the pulpit and spew the same rhetoric as Mr. Racist podcaster. And his wife is grifting as well, too. Take a look at those rings on her fingers when she pries her hand over his cold, lifeless, turtle shelled hand in that video. It was very cringy. Very cringy. Erica Kirk is a grifter. She is a white supremacist wrapped in a perfectly, since Christmas Eve is tomorrow, wrapped in a perfectly beautiful gift box with the bow on the top of it. I've seen white supremacy. I know white supremacy. I told y'all about the Klans meeting that happened down here in South Carolina in front of the courthouse where I'm at. Diva's also from South Carolina. Alexis, she's from South Carolina as well, too. So we know about the Klan down here. My mother warned me and told me that they still out. So she wasn't crazy. She knew exactly what she's saying. But if y'all think that y'all going to go out here and y'all are going to radicalize, as Deshaun said in the comments, and use y'all's Christianity and scripture and white supremacy to make our lives miserable, you got another thing coming in 2026
Won't
because that is
happen.
not the case.
Thanks. I think really, I think it was really around people having critical conversations. You feel me? Like with each other, like with like mind or other minded people. I'm gonna keep it real because I'm definitely a brave space person. I like going in and having conversations with different people. I don't always just like hanging around people that think like me, because I definitely like to put in some of the pressure, put out some of the pressure as some of the privileges that I have as being a male, being masculine and stuff like that. Because some people do listen to how I, when I say things and how I say things. I can't speak for another group of people. Hell no, I can't do that. But I can be an ally. I can speak as an ally. I can speak in support of. If only folks, when I know folks is talking crazy or talking out of the, talking out the side of the neck. And I think
But that's
that,
what happened with the racist podcast that he was talking out the side of his neck.
yeah,
Yes. As Fairy Puss said, make sure y'all go and follow Fairy Puss right here on YouTube. Love her. Love Bree.
thank you.
And you guys have seen her with T.S. Madison on the panel as well, too. Love Bree. That's what happened with the racist podcast. Let me go this deep. They're trying to populate more, to create more racism, more white supremacy. Exactly, Deshaun. And you had Elon Musk get out here and tweet twice, but then this week, not too long ago, about wanting women to have more babies. That's the goal. Bingo, Deshaun. That's exactly it. Because they are the minority. Black people, it's way more of us than them because they are losing their own. So while we are well rested and dealing within our own internal war within, from homophobia, transphobia, femicide, all of that, and so much more, we are fighting amongst ourselves about. They are hell bent on preserving their white supremacy and lineage. That's what they're trying to do. My video essay while I wait for this free Claude tier to work again. Gotta wait until 8. Yes, Bubs is here. So you heard some of the conversation. We were talking about how white people were trying to create more. That's the goal. Why you think Elon Musk is out here tweeting about he wants women to have more babies? But
Right.
I what remember what I told you. And oh yeah, the Hanson and Squidward, Deshaun. Is that who you're talking about? Squidward is Stephen Miller. Hanson is Russ Voigt
Okay.
from Scary Movie 2.
Mm.
The one that's just take my strong hand. That Russ Voigt. These are the masterminds behind the ICE raids. And by the way, ICE raided a public women's restroom. So y'all just pulling up
Crazy.
into any goddamn where, but you won't pull that shit in New York again. You fucked with the Haitian community where my colleague now's the time where I have family up there as well too. And them Haitian Americans, y'all thought that y'all saw that green and yellow, and y'all thought y'all was going to deport them Haitians Americans. They ran y'all asses on up out of there. Y'all been ran up out of there twice. And I seen a video of them blocking the van so y'all wouldn't get out of here. Those are the driving forces behind these ICE raids. And now they are locking up people who are warning people like, yo, ICE is in your neighborhood. No, let people know.
Of course.
Because these people nasty, you're breaking up families. Y'all are dragging pregnant women across the floor. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting because like community, when we talk about like community from the standpoint of like grassroots organized communities, majority does come from a queer point of view, a like a more of a like service to the community, in the part of like being able to organize in spite of, you feel me, disorderly, like this the disorderly situation that's going on, because it's really I look at it as the strength, the strength of queer people, black people, and just any people that are being um, subjected to like a more difficult life, and and especially for just being for existing, you know, um, when I look at New York State, I understand that it's very liberal. I feel like some people really don't understand that. They don't really see it because they see like the like you see that we do like pride and stuff like that. But when it comes to laws around protecting trans people and things like that, it's not a thing. We had a case that happened last year where Sam Norquist was a trans man that came from another state and ended up
Yeah.
coming here to Rochester to meet somebody and end up being raped and murdered. You know,
Great. My
you,
God.
you feel me? So it's just like that case is still receiving like little attention, and it's because we don't have enough laws to protect trans bodies, to be identified as trans. There's no law that actually says, hey, you can't harm a trans person. It's really
Or
not.
common sense gun reform. That's what we need. The violence in this country, and I was talking to Frances a few minutes ago, and she says the unalivings in this country are going up, especially under this regime. Republicans turn a blind eye to it,
Right.
and they
100%.
give us thoughts. What do they give us? Thoughts and prayers, right,
Yeah.
Deshaun? And
Yes.
yes, yeah, oh yeah, they're gonna try to sweep that up under the rug, especially under this DOJ. Don't trust anything from this regime. Y'all need to be supporting independent medias. He tried to get this 60 Minutes documentary blocked. They blocked it. It's no longer there. So yes, I didn't even get a chance to get into that. But let me touch on that briefly. This is why you have to make sure that you are supporting independent news outlets like myself, like Bubs the God, like Deshaun, like Conscious TV, who is also live currently right now. So y'all make sure y'all head on over. I don't mind if you guys bounce back and forth. I do not mind at all. But you need to be supporting the outlets like King Jobs, Don Lemon, Joy Reid, Katie Fang, the women of the I've Had It podcast, Roland Martin. Now's the time. Now's the time is using radio airwaves the same way Coffrey J is using radio airwaves to get the message out there to the people. He's been had his feet on the ground, as well as my colleague Bubs the God, as well as Conscious, as well as so many other King Jives. You need to be following all of these networks that I'm naming to you. Yes, I know them all. You be like, Miss Stevie, you know them? Yes, we all friends. I know them all.
Mhm.
So make sure that you are supporting them. The racist podcaster, I don't mention his name, Deshaun, but the racist podcaster, oh yeah, he did say that black women don't have the brain processing power as well too. And it's yeah, Elon Musk said empathy is for the weak. He never believed in empathy, and neither did the racist podcaster. So fuck them both. They're perfect for each other.
Yeah.
Um, let's get into this 60 Minutes documentary. CBS correspondent issues a must-read statement on the censored 60 Minute story where they deported all these people to CCOT and they're giving, yes, Alvin, tit for tat, this and that, Harold. Make sure that you are following them all. Yeah, he said empathy is for the weak. That's what Elon Musk said. They don't believe in empathy. So don't get mad at black people for not feeling for what y'all won't feel for us. The same way you didn't feel for George Floyd. The same way you didn't feel for Ahmaud Arbery. The same way you wouldn't feel for the two women who lost their lives, Adriana Smith, Amber Nicole Thurman, two African American women who should be here because they didn't get the life-saving care that they needed. But that's a different form because y'all wanted everything. Your Christianity, your values. Yeah, Chuck, that the racist podcaster, he don't believe in empathy, y'all.
Yeah.
So fuck him and fuck the racist, uh, fuck his wife too. Erica Kirk, she is no different. I already told you she is a gift packaged in a nice bow, but she's still a white supremacist. When he passed, did y'all see what she says? I pay attention to body language and everything. She got up there And not one single damn tear. This woman literally put tears in her eyes. Real shit. There's a video of her doing that. Got up here and she said, y'all don't know what y'all just unleashed. And then looked in the camera like that. Girl,
White white
you've
supremacy.
been waiting to take over TPSU.
Angry white woman. I'm an angry white woman.
You have been ready to take over TPSU. Yeah, they're trying to have us go against each other. And a lot of Republicans, as Chef Scott said in the comments earlier, Deshaun, they are now starting to resign en masse after Marjorie Taylor Greene. So be prepared to see that. No, don't leave because y'all helped usher in the fascism. Stay. Because just like the Nuremberg trials happened, if you know, you know, the Nuremberg trials will happen 2025 edition with Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, Tom Homan. We hadn't forgot about you receiving that 50K in a brown paper bag. We haven't forgot about it at all. Y'all riding on private jets, using the American people's hard-earned tax-paying money. Yeah, nothing but problems. That's all they're going to create. So buckle up. I'm warning you and I'm telling you right now because the worst is going to come in 2026 and it's going to rain down on us as Black people in this country hard. And yes, Chef Sky, I'm going to touch on that white woman tears. When a white woman cries, that's a direct dog whistle. When a white woman calls the police, that is a direct dog whistle. We see the videos of the Karens out here. So when they do these things, when JD Vance got up there and said what he said on that stage, it was full of misogyny, it was full of white supremacy. And we know that JD Vance, when the Haitian Americans in Springfield, Ohio were being attacked, threats were made. I can't say that word. He was the main one right there regurgitating the same thing. Pay attention to what Kamala Harris said when that debate happened. When she was on stage with Donald Trump, before, because they called whatever and they had their briefing. He repeated what Laura Loomer told him, which was, I'm not even going to say it. You know what it is about the Haitian Americans and the pets. It's the caustic terrorism. So when they get out here and they say the things that they're saying, these are direct dog whistles. We know what you're doing, JD Vance. I'm going to tell you once, and I'm going to tell you again, like the beginning of the show before we wrap. Stick to fucking couches and leave Jasmine Crockett alone. Because if for Black people, we might not be aligned together, as now time said, we might not be all on the same page. Again, we have our own influx and war going on. It's a lot going on within our community that we're trying to deal with and help people to understand. Like queer people, again, are not your enemy. We're not. We got a lot going on. Yeah, he's 6-time failed businessman, Deshaun, 6 times. You stole from cancer charities. There's nothing Christ-like about that. You refuse to rent to Blacks, you and your daddy. And his daddy is a Klansman. So when he says very fine people on both sides, you know exactly what that means. I'm going to have to teach a course. Put that in my schedule sometime this week, y'all. Tap me on my shoulder and remind me, Diva. I'm going to do a course on fascism and the vocabulary language that fascists use. We have to stick together. And we all have formed some sort of community through us doing conversations like this, whether they may be on my platform, whether they may be on Consciences, Bubs, King Jives. We all have formed a community. But Diva, tap me and remind me. Put that so that I can put it in my notes to make a list of words that they're done. I'm not even done. Kennedy. Oh, yeah. RFK Jr., his own wife took her life as a result of him. I'm not taking any healthcare advice from this quack who swarms around in, what is it, raw sewage? Yeah, they're trying to eradicate pride. They're trying to eradicate queer people, period. And to that,
Celebration.
Deshaun, check out Madonna's post. Madonna ate Donald Trump up over trying to get rid of World AIDS Day, not celebrating it, not commemorating it,
Yeah, not
everything.
acknowledging it. Yeah.
Madonna tore his ass up. And y'all know I love me some Madonna.
Yeah.
Tore his ass up, and rightly so. And if not Madonna, then our girl, the beautiful Hope Giselle. I need to bring Hope back on the show. That would be one sit down y'all wouldn't be ready for. Because
Mm-hmm.
y'all think by me and Now's the Time and what's her Danielle Moody, y'all think all of us we are way radical? No, we're
Mm-hmm.
fighting for the best interests of our people, black people. But
Thanks.
you ain't seen nothing yet.
Thanks.
You ain't seen nothing with Hope Giselle yet.
You think?
So I'm
You
gonna
think?
see if I can get Hope back on the show. Y'all wouldn't be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
Our uh, intellectualism, our intelligence on the issues, y'all wouldn't be ready for that.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is also. Oh yeah, he put his name. That punk fucker put his name on the Kennedy Center, and I
Mm-hmm.
hope the Kennedy family sues his ass. RFK Jr., you need to wake up because your last name is Kennedy. You
Yeah.
need you need to wake up.
It seemed
But you're
like
too
it
busy
seemed.
trying to
It seemed
take
like
away
he.
trans
Yeah.
people's binders and
He's.
health care away from trans people,
Yeah.
making it illegal for trans people to get gender affirming care. That's what you're busy on. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
are fixated on us. And I'm going to quote Candy Burris on The Real Housewives of Atlanta when she told Nene Leakes at that reunion, "We are embedded in y'all's motherfucking brains, bitch. Deeply. The reason why Donald Trump won this election was because of transphobia. You blaming trans people for everything. The commercials also that were put out here, there's biological men and women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all still would go
Yeah.
back into the voting booth and vote against your own interests. Yeah, I'm not watching the Trump Kennedy Center honors. What is it? 60 Minutes CBS, y'all capitulated and bent the knee as well too. No, let us see the 60 Minute stories. Let us see these people share their experience of what happened to them and CCOT. That's how fascism works. Smoke and mirrors. Flood the zone. And Steve Bannon said they would flood the zone. We'll have the zone so flooded, you won't even know what to do. And you're just like this, trying to break your neck, trying to wrap your head around it. Democracy doesn't die in darkness. It's dying in real time in front of your very eyes. And yes, Donald Trump ain't doing shit but trying to distract us. He's an agent of chaos. And what do agents of chaos tell us? What do they do?
You feel me?
They arrive, they raise chaos, distract
just
you,
stay.
and
Just
while
you
your
know,
back
stay
is
the
turned,
course.
they
They
cause
tell you
war.
to. It's gonna get better. That's what. It's gonna
And
get
yeah,
better.
but
It's
what the
bad
Mike
right now, but
Johnson,
it's gonna get better.
yeah, Mike Johnson said what? What did Mike Johnson say? Mike Johnson said they've got volumes of ideas for healthcare. And my phone is on 1%. I do not want it to cut off. But I'm going to leave this as the closing remark here
Mhm.
because I want to save this live. We went over an hour today because it was a lot that has happened because the damage has already been done. Yeah. And it's going to take decades for us, Deshaun, to undo this. He is an agent of chaos. But we're going to be all right. Black people, it's already in our DNA to survive. We just got to look out for our own. And as Now's the Time said, it takes a village, it takes a tribe. I need everybody to pick up their phone, text, and call your loved ones and check on them.
Mhm.
Tell them you love them. Hug somebody. And I'm going to stop here because I don't want my phone to cut off.
All right.
So now's the time. Closing remarks for the holiday because tomorrow's Christmas Eve.
You feel me? I don't celebrate Christmas, but I do celebrate Kwanzaa. So I will be celebrating Kwanzaa, 7 days of Kwanzaa, starting the 26th onto the 1st of January. And I will be participating in Kwanzaa events. I'll also be at Whale FM, 7 p.m. Afro Soul Radio with Naima and Terry on Friday. And just getting out in the community and continue to doing community work. I'm keeping it real. Like if you're not a servant to your community, your family, what good are you? That's my closing remarks. Have a happy holidays,
Absolutely.
y'all.
Deshaun said Charger fans. Yes, happy holidays. And this comes from the NAACP. This is for us as black people. So I love what they put up real quick. Not putting what we're not doing this holiday season, not putting ourselves last. Our well-being is a priority for number one. Not working ourselves into the ground. Rest is on the schedule, non-negotiable. So in order to be able to be a part of the resistance, you have to rest. Y'all see me get up every day at 7 a.m. and I work out. Not pretending we're fine. We're telling the truth and protecting our peace. And as black people, that's why they oppress. That's why the oppressors, white supremacists, are upset because black people are not rattled. Y'all are trying to provoke us by taking away MLK, pride, all of these things to get us in a tizzy. And we know when we get to those streets, what he will do. What will he do, Deshaun? And I said it on the panel. That is declare martial law. Last but certainly not least, not letting anyone stress us out. We've endured enough this year. So going into 2026, we way white racist people can get together and focus on their own. We got to be focused on our own community. Stop looking at a person's gender, their cultural differences, and all of that.
Mm.
But if you believe what Onika, Tanya Mirage, and Donald Trump and JD Vance and Erica Kirk believes, I can't fuck with you. I'm just letting you know right now, we'll cut you off with a swiftness. I'm a Scorpio. And we sit there and we categorize everything. And then when the time is right, we know what must be done. So behind my beautiful face lies a woman who can be cold and vicious.
Okay.
So I will close the show with that, Fashion Dolls. And now's the time to let everyone know where they can follow you.
I'm now's the time on all social media platforms. So I is now's the time IZM. And you can literally like Google me. You can find me there. Most social media platforms, I do have some type of, an account on it. Majority of platforms. So I'm on every social media platform you can think of. And yeah, just being consistent with yourself, and if you got time to tap into other creatives, that's my tip. You feel me? Make sure you keep on cross promoting, working with other creatives. And yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to, I guess, take new chances and take new opportunities.
All right. And the replay will be up here. Make sure you guys subscribe. And I will see y'all closing out the year 2025 with QL Howard. I want you guys to have a happy and blessed holiday, Christmas Eve tomorrow, and then Christmas Day. And my mom's coming back home. She was with my brother. So I have to go and tend to her. I'm hearing a lot of commotion out there. So happy commotion. But I love y'all and I will
Love
see
you.
y'all then. Until the meantime, make sure you subscribe to Bubs to God. Make sure you subscribe to Conscious TV, King Jobs. Check out Now's the Time, Wayo FM. Make sure you subscribe to all of us and to my beautiful admins, Deshaun, Diva, Chef Scott. Thank y'all all so much for y'all's love and support. And I will continue to keep being that beacon of light, that fire that y'all love. All right. Take care, everybody.
Peace, y'all.